Yo! What up, YouTube? Topaz Jace back with another reaction / post show for this one, man, because just watched the Anthony Hamilton versus Musiq Soulchild versus battle, and this was a very, very entertaining one. Appreciate everybody who's coming up in here. All the playbacks, I see you. But okay, let's do a overview on everything that's going on, or that has happened in this one. Because, leading up to this, me being from Charlotte, North Carolina, I got preferential feelings more towards Anthony Hamilton than Musiq Soulchild, but I also recognize Musiq Soulchild got them hits. So coming into it, I was honestly expecting an L for Anthony Hamilton, to keep it 1,000. But after listening and watching this, I got to say I was thoroughly entertained. I don't think there are certain verses that should be like a straight up versus battle where I'm trying to go better, I'm going a lot hammer than you, I'm better than you, my whole catalog is better than yours. This one didn't necessarily have to be that way. Yes, it did become that way when they got Jack Thriller in his fat Michael Jackson Thriller costume, coming in just trying to crack jokes from time to time, and he had his moments where he was funny, but for the most part he was annoying and getting in the way of the beautiful music that was going on. With this being a post Valentine's Day event, this was designed to be more for the ladies. It's not supposed to be more like competitive, you feel me? Most women, especially when it comes time to this great music that you about to that they was about to hear, like, competitiveness is more for the guys. They could have just enjoyed themselves and did the music. But I do, as a guy, enjoy the competitive banter that was going back and forth. It just wasn't 1,000% necessary here. But I will say, Anthony Hamilton came prepared for everything necessary, because he was the underdog. The underdog comes into this like, yo, I'm going to bring everything. I'm gonna hit you with the kitchen sink, and you better come with it as the overdog, or you about to lose. And that's why I feel as though Anthony Hamilton won this one. Like, even though Musiq Soulchild got hits forever, just the raw preparation and everything that Anthony Hamilton had for this to make sure that he was delivering the best show possible, and the fact that musically he didn't get completely washed, thrown under the bus by Musiq Soulchild's whole catalog, just off the strength of that. And Musiq Soulchild, you can tell he got tired. You can tell he's not the most amazing performer. You can tell his voice wasn't there, and then on top of it, he was deviating from his hits. He was doing too much freestyling and not giving his hits the absolute justice that everybody wanted to hit. You feel me? So just based off of that and the fact that the music was not as dominant as I thought it would be, I gotta give Anthony Hamilton the win here. But it was an absolute amazing time. Like, I actually enjoyed it. I watched it with my ex-girlfriend, man. We had fun. But so, okay. Key moments of the whole versus battle. Jermaine Dupri came out to do the DJing for Anthony Hamilton, which, hey, I don't see any problem with it. Given the fact that everything that Anthony Hamilton was doing here was going to be star-studded, I like it, but I would somewhat prefer a professional, because at least going into it, I thought having a professional here doing the DJing and scratching and all that stuff would have definitely helped him out a lot more. But in the context of how things went down, I think it worked out. And it was funny, like, the whole chat was roasting JD immediately as soon as he got out there on stage and all of that, man. They're like, oh, Jermaine Dupri, who caught the biggest L by losing the biggest bag of losing Janet Jackson. Like, man, y'all need to grow up. Y'all need to let it go. He's a grown man who got his own money, who got his own success. Sure, he wanted Janet back. He still probably does want Janet back. But let that go. Let that man be great. Can we stop roasting JD? Even though it is funny, I'm not going to deny it. But again, like, as I came into it, I was more hoping that there wouldn't be as much star power, but how things played out, I think it was more necessary that each of them had their star power. Because as I said, Musiq Soulchild, like, his voice began to falter. Especially after So Beautiful. When he did So Beautiful, the falsetto, and that's why Anthony Hamilton's like, oh, you want to do falsetto? Like now? Because he's like, yo, you know that's going to mess up people's voices. Like, that's not something that you want to do halfway through. You want to save that for closer to the end so that you can just give it all you got and then bounce. You dig? But I will say, you know, Anthony Hamilton came out first, repping for Charlotte, and I got preferential treatment, yes, but you know, I'm the harshest critic there is, so the closer you are to me, the more I demand from you, the more I expect from you. I expect greatness because being from here in Charlotte, I've been around a lot of the great musicians that are here. I've heard a lot of the great singers. I've been around some great rappers that never got their chance. Like, if you gonna get on the grandest stage like this Verzuz battle is on a holiday of all times after the Super Bowl where a lot of people was watching, you need to represent for the 704 hard. So no, it's not preferential treatment why I'm saying Anthony Hamilton won this. He won legitimately. While Musiq Soulchild came out later, came out second, and you know, he's wearing his denim. He has not ever changed his look. Well, he got new age denim look now with what he was rocking today. But ultimately, it's still the denim. You feel me? He still got his same look. It's just more evolved for the time period, and that's cool. And I mean, both of these artists are at that point where you got so many hits, people coming for the hits. You don't have to change anything because people gonna rock with you regardless. So it is what it is. I liked it. And the fact that Musiq Soulchild came out to Coming to Break You Off? What? That ultimately just meant, that was the sign to me that he's going in. He does not care. He got the hits lined up, ready to go. Like, Coming to Break You Off is better than most people's hits that they're trying to do on these Verzuz battles. You feel me? And he just came in and did that as an intro. Yes, it was a feature. Yes, this was The Roots' ultimate song, but that's something that people would save. But the thing that killed me about it is how fast they were moving from a lot of these songs. And I understand why, because there's only but a limited time that they had, and they were running late. Why was they running late? Probably Anthony Hamilton, because you know he had everybody and their mama coming. He tried to get Jadakiss to pull up, and Jadakiss couldn't make it. But yet it was in his rotation of songs to perform. So therefore, all of these people, he was waiting on them. You feel me? That honestly could have had a lot to do with why they were running late. And because it was running late, a lot of these songs they could only do like one verse, one hook, and then skipped out on a lot of big moments that they could have had, which that took away from the quality of the entire thing, man. That was one of the most disappointing parts. But then given the fact that Musiq Soulchild got tired and that what they was doing was rather taxing of the voices, I think it kind of worked out to a degree so that they can have something left in the tank as you get closer to the ending, when the best songs that they had to have when they decided to go in those directions, you feel me? So there's a give and take there, but I prefer them letting the hits ride. Damn the time that y'all gotta get out of the... Hey, if they charge an extra, take it out the budget. take it out to promotion. But you know, people ain't gonna do that. People ain't like me. Like, the money, the bottom line is the most important thing, and the fact that they was late, it kind of ruined a lot of the best stuff. And then, you know, Anthony Hamilton tried to show off his dance moves. You feel me? He tried to show off them dance moves that only rival Mary J. Blige. The chat room was clowning. Like, that was your two-step, fam? That was the best two-step that you had. As he brought out the Hamiltones, forgive me, to sing the joint. And that is more to come. That was the very first feature that he brought out. He brought out the band, and that was an important thing. You dig? Like, by him having the Hamiltones, by him bringing out Raheem DeVaughn, Eric Robertson, Kevin Ross, him bringing out people consistently, and the Hamiltones did multiple songs. Like, that helped him save his voice. That helped him deliver the best sound that he could possibly sound on these individual tracks. While Musiq Soulchild ultimately trying to do it all himself, he wore himself out. It feels like the rope-a-dope, doesn't it? He roped himself like Muhammad Ali did the rope-a-dope. He got what's his name? George Foreman. He got George Foreman tired because he punched himself out, and because he punched himself out, Ali went in for the kill. Same thing happened here with Anthony Hamilton, because he was able to bring in other acts that people wanted to hear from, that helped him do the melodies and things, that helped him save his voice and all of that stuff. It saved him to do the performances on the optimum level. So this was a very wise, very tactical thing that he did. But then you got a bunch of other jams that Anthony Hamilton, when he did Amazing, oh my God, that's my joint. But that's when the biggest mistake of the whole Verzuz battle happened, where Musiq Soulchild decided to do So Beautiful. That's why Anthony Hamilton's like, you want to do falsetto now? Alright. But the thing is, Musiq Soulchild did a perfect falsetto, which is what a falsetto is, and it was amazing how he was able to do it. Like, and what's sad is this is one of the songs that they cut off because they were running out of time, and that is super frustrating. But therein lies, that's when Anthony Hamilton's like, yo, I got to go ahead and do my falsetto joint. You dig? And easily Musiq Soulchild's So Beautiful was by far the better joint. But after this point, you could tell Music's voice was not the same. For the most part, there was moments where he came back and was doing all right, and you could tell he was walking off stage and going into the back, and maybe he had some hot tea back there, some lemon, you know, trying to refresh and get himself back right for the next songs and all that stuff. Quite possibly. But after that point, though, you can tell he wasn't 100%. And I mean, it wasn't the best point of it that you can tell that's what was happening is when he brought out the keyboardists and they tried to do, like, he tried to just sing with the keyboardists, and it felt like he was just doing warm-ups with his voice, and it wasn't on point, and he was struggling with it, and it wasn't very entertaining when you got hits that you could have been doing. And the thing that tried to take the attention away from that is Jack Thriller interjecting himself and everything, trying to go ahead and throw some shots at Anthony Hamilton, trying to, you know, make his presence be felt. And I'm like, yo, sit your ass down, fat boy. You're ruining the whole essence here. But I think it was when Anthony Hamilton started going back and forth with him, that's what made it even more entertaining. That's when that's when it stopped being an annoyance and it became part of the show. But that moment right there is where I feel Anthony Hamilton took full control of the whole show, the whole battle. You dig? As he started coming back with the hits with What People Say. And I mean, that was another song that got cut short, which was horrible. Like, some of these great music, like, and that's why, like, in the middle of it, there's like, oh, like, okay, y'all gonna quit cutting me off. We need to let these ride, man. What is y'all doing? Like, people were feeling these songs, but yet, instead of changing the format, like, okay, I know you guys want to do 20 songs, but let's just do the hits and do them all the way out instead of what Anthony Hamilton did try to, even though it was a song with Jill Scott on it, that Jill Scott didn't make it, but it was more of a newer joint. It wasn't a hit for the long term that people know him for. Instead of doing songs like that, instead of sticking to the set, you realize, okay, the timing is so short, so we got to knock out these features and we got to knock out these hits. The rest of it gotta go. And some of this, you're gonna have to make some tough decisions. Like how some of my favorite stuff from Anthony Hamilton, like when he started doing the American Gangster soundtrack, love them joints. But I can readily recognize if I was in charge of this, I'd be like, you know what? Those are some of my, like the American Gangster track, one of my favorite joints, but we can cut that off because that's not what the people were here to listen to. And we need to save as much time as possible, just like how they said they're not going to do the intermission. They just skipped past, they probably had a 15-minute intermission signed up for that, but yet in order to get through as many songs they needed to get through, they had to say, damn that intermission, we need to keep going. Which was smart. Which was really, really, really smart. Now, one thing that you can tell, that Musiq Soulchild, this is where, you know, having the Hamiltones was a specific strategic mastermind move by Anthony Hamilton because he was able to save his voice, like I said already. But Musiq Soulchild, he kept on trying to get the crowd participation. He's trying to get the crowd to sing the things. Why? Because he's tired. And then when he's singing his hits, he's trying to put stank on it, as people would, as who said that? I forget who was it that made that synonymous, but like you try to throw some stank on it, but pretty much you're trying to do too many runs. You're trying to remix your own hits instead of trying to sing the hits the way they need to be sung and doing your hits justice. That's what he was doing. That's what Musiq Soulchild was doing, and it honestly took away from some of his best stuff, especially since he couldn't hit the notes like he'd been wanting to hit the notes. And the fact that he was doing too much, trying to do extras like, what song was it? I forget what, like, take, the Calling Me Back, brought out Lucky Day, which Lucky Day is an amazing singer. Like, I wasn't like really big on him, you dig, but a lot of people rocking with him, and it's like he came out and did a remix to Musiq Soulchild, one of the biggest hits that people were here to listen to, which was dope. I mean, Lucky Day is an amazing singer. I think it was decently done. I think it was well done, actually. But not for that song. You feel me? Not for a moment that everybody is here to listen to. But he needed it. So it is what it is. Now there was some moments though that I felt Anthony Hamilton, it didn't work well. Like All My Life I've Been Po, one of my favorite songs. Now, not a big fan of the Nappy Roots though. And I know that may be blasphemy for a lot of people out the South. But I understand this style of music wasn't necessarily supposed to be on beat, wasn't supposed to be. It's southern soulful music that see, but my thing is I was more of a Goody Mob than Nappy Roots. You dig? And when they came out and did All of My Life I've Been Po, the collaboration just felt off. But that was one of my favorite hooks. That was easily my favorite song ever from the Nappy Roots. One of my favorite hooks from Anthony Hamilton. Bruh. But the execution was not there, and that hurt me a lot. Then you got Musiq Soulchild did Teach Me How to Love. Cut it short. How dare you cut that short, fam? How dare they? That is one of the most frustrating moments of this whole entire thing. So much great music was getting played back to back to back that they had to cut short because there was no time and they didn't adapt the plan with the time that they had. But come on, bro. And after that, that's when Anthony Hamilton did the new album Plug, and that left the door open for Musiq Soulchild to keep hitting them with hits to try to bring this battle back to competition, because music was falling behind based off of just the way that he was performing his stuff. And these songs were great, but yet when you begin to deviate from the song and make different songs and have you have a bunch of people come through and change the song fundamentally, and you try to make your own on it, that kind of takes away from everything that was needed here. But then that's when Anthony Hamilton used the cheat code, brought in Raheem DeVaughn, Eric Robertson, Kevin Ross to sing just like the Hamiltones did, but yet they had their own, they made that happen. That was a key highlight that established domination here. It was amazing. Their voices, especially in tandem like that, dude, come on. It don't get no better than that. But that wasn't even it though. Anthony Hamilton was talking, but he did a brief little moment yeah, man, I got so many people here because it's Super Bowl weekend and we out here in LA. He was able to communicate with all these people and get them in there because why not? If you gonna be there at the Super Bowl anyway, Darnell Jones came out and did a jam, bruh. If they all gonna be there for Super Bowl weekend, why not have them just, stick around for a couple more days and go ahead and get a feature on what could be one of the biggest, more hyped Valentine's Day edition of a Verzuz battle. It's a win-win situation for everybody. So Anthony Hamilton didn't have to go through and blow all the expenses to actually bring these people, or these people were already here. I think using the time of when all this came in about, Anthony Hamilton pieced together maybe the greatest set that he's ever pieced together, because he's using everything to his advantage, and the man is smart. I respect it. Which brings us all the way to the end. Love versus Charlene. The two hits that you came here to hear. You feel me? And they were done. Charlene was done amazingly. Love, I have my issues. There. Music, you gotta hit that note. I don't care if you tired. I don't care if you don't think you got it in you no more. It's the end of the show, yes. But you can't hand off that note. And everybody watching this, everybody everybody who knows of these individuals watching this, you know what note I'm talking about. You cannot hand off that note to the crowd. I don't care about anything that you got to say, any complaints, no matter how tired you are, I don't care. That note right there put about half them people in that audience in them seats. You got to at least attempt to hit that note. By you not hitting that note, that's mad. Even if you failed at it horribly, I would give you more points than you not even attempting it. You feel me? That's why, that's one of the main reasons why I'm sitting there trying to get to that point, because we all know this note is about to be hit. That's the one that all the women are here for. And he just pawned it off. He pawned it off like a baby mother trying to go out at night with their child. Yeah, pawned them off to the closest part, any person that says, I will take care of your child so you can go out and be ratchet. That's how he pawned off the most important part of one of the best songs, the most anticipated song that he have in his catalog. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is honestly where I'm like, that was the moment where I realized, okay, Anthony Hamilton got this. Even though it's not a competition, even though this is good for both of them to build up the, a lot of people who listen to this, they definitely gonna go back into the catalog for those who didn't know these individuals, who didn't hear a lot of these songs, which I'm sure a lot of people should have, but younger generations and such who just decided to give it a chance and all that stuff, they definitely peeped this out and definitely got more people intrigued into them, which is what Verzuz is all about. It's all about helping artists who are washed up. Now, and I don't want to put it like that in terms of, okay, these guys can't sing no more. They're not dominant forces in mainstream no more. Whenever they drop an album, it's not going platinum. It may not go gold, depending. That's why I'm like, yo, it's smart for Anthony Hamilton to showcase the new song that he got jumping so that he can try to bring over new audiences to the new stuff that he's doing. But again, this is not necessarily the place or the time. I mean, if you're going to do new songs in a Verzuz battle, I would say get it out early. Don't wait halfway through. I would say you want to come into a Verzuz battle and set the tone with something phenomenal. So a song that, people would be expecting you to wait later so that you already set the tone. Wait 1 or 2 songs and then you hit them with the new stuff. Then you hit them with the promotion for whatever you got next. But keep that limited, keep that early, 1 song, maybe 2. But 1 song, maybe 2. But then after that, you got to go for the hits. You got to go all hits if you got them. A lot of these people who be doing it, they don't be having 20 songs worth of hits, but these people did. So that's how I would have played it. But overall, as I said, I feel as though Anthony Hamilton got this one. Why? Because Musiq Soulchild, he's not really a great performer like that. He has amazing hits. But if we could just listen to the CDs and watch the videos, just hits alone, he's going to wash. But yet, Verzuz battles are a lot about being a dope performer, you dig? Anthony Hamilton's the better performer. They both got mass hits to the point that Musiq Soulchild didn't overtly dominate like I thought he would. So therefore, there was too much of an edge that Anthony Hamilton had by bringing out the Hamiltones, by bringing out all of these features that he had, by maintaining his voice with that, by putting on really good performance. I mean, some of that performance, you know, could have been much better. Like the dance moves that he had, nah, that wasn't the business, bro. And then him dancing with his features, yeah. Like, and he had to go ahead and cop pleas on the way out. Like, oh, she didn't tell me that she had a boyfriend. I didn't know. Like, he's trying to put on a show by dancing with her, but it wasn't amazing. Was not amazing part. But besides those moments, and I will say the Nappy Roots, All My Life Been Po, like, that performance was a little lacking too. But besides those moments, I give him a good A to A- on his performance. Music as a performer, the fact that he got all these raw hits that he bring to the table, but yet he undercut them by doing too many runs, too much freestyling, too much fatigue, not having like, you can tell he came into this like a normal show. You dig? Like, where he can come in and take his time, he can come out and give the audience the sound, give the audience the mic so that they can sing the most anticipated moments that he had in his own songs. This ain't that kind of performance. This is a competitive performance. It's a competitive art. It's a competitive performance. So therefore, you have to put in the max. You're going to have to do, just because you got the hits doesn't mean you can walk away and get away with these things that you get away with at your show. No. Half that audience out there is there not for you. They there to throw tomatoes at you, dog. They ain't there to be entertained by you. You gotta win people over at your own shows. You feel me? Like, that's honestly what's dope about this dynamic of what Verzuz battles honestly are. The fact that it isn't just you go to the show and your performer shows up late. Your performer isn't giving their maximum abilities. They're just there to get their check and they feel slighted because the promoter slighted them. No, this ain't that. Because your competition right next to you is going for the jugular. And they gonna hit all the notes that you ain't hitting. They gonna try to give as much of a show as they can just so that they can be better than you. The competitive nature of it is why you can't come into a Verzuz battle like your normal performances, but that's the problem that Musiq Soulchild did. He came into this like this is just a normal show. It's not. And people are going to remember this. People are going to remember that. Even his fans, like I was looking at the chat and all that, I was seeing people, the memes, not the memes, but the jokes that people be having is ridiculous. Like they started throwing tomatoes and stuff in the chat room, dog. Like overall, even though I am from Charlotte, North Carolina 704, I said that in the beginning of this. I'm not giving preferential treatment. If anything, being from Charlotte means I'm a harsher critic of you. Ask the baby. Ask him on how much I support him for being from Charlotte and how much full of crap he is. Honestly, by being from Charlotte, I look at you harder because you gotta represent for my hometown. You gotta represent for my side of town just as much as I would want to represent for us too. So I'm judging him harder. But Anthony Hamilton pulled it off, fam. Anthony Hamilton did his thing. This was a lot closer than what I thought it would be because I thought it would be a landslide for Musiq Soulchild. But because the hits, the songs, were a lot closer than what it seemed it was going to be, because that was a lot closer, And the fact that Musiq Soulchild's performance was super lacking to the point that people like, come on, dude. Like, you can't miss the note that everybody is here to hear. You can't do that deliberately. You can't deliberately miss that note. Things like that. Like, his performance was so bad, and Anthony Hamilton's performance was so good, it gave him an edge. And the music was a lot closer than what many deemed it was going to be leading up to it. Because of that math, and the fact that, all the people that Anthony Hamilton brought out, man, Anthony Hamilton brought out everybody. Everybody who did anything. Like, he wanted Jadakiss to come out, but Jada was like, nah, I can't make it. And that wasn't even for a song that was Anthony Hamilton's. You dig? He was just doing the most at that point. You dig? Like, there was no reason for Anthony Hamilton to try to perform the song with Jadakiss. What was the Why? Or was it Why? Or I forget exactly the title of it. But you guys know what I'm talking about. It's like, they should have switched gears though there as well. When Jadakiss didn't show, and clearly you're running out of time, why are you still trying to do that song? I know it was supposed to be part of everything that you was trying to do. It was supposed to be part of your 20 songs, but you gotta make adjustments on the fly when it comes to versus battles. It's like when Gucci Mane went up against Jeezy. Gucci was getting ate up so bad that you saw him walk off to the back and started having discussions with the DJ. That's when you knew he was about to go ahead and do the diss tracks and be the most disrespectful there ever was on a Verzuz stage ever. But that was Gucci realizing what's going on. Okay, we have to make adjustments in order to maintain, in order to actually compete here, because clearly not as good of an artist as Jeezy ever was. Adjustments. Lack of adjustments is what doomed both of these guys. Actually, like, when you realize time is running short and they trying to like rush you and all that stuff, like, okay, during one guy's song, be like, look, we're gonna X out this song, X out this song, X out this song, X out this song, because we don't necessarily need them, so that we can do these songs in full. Tactics. And then in these tactics, I would go over and tell them that they need to do the same thing so that we can run through this and give the people the show that was needed. Not necessarily have a massive tactic advantage against everybody, just overall make the show better, work together to make the show better. And that in that area, if that were to happen and it's a competitive show, you have to work together in order to give the people the show that they want. Because at the end of the day, right now, I feel ultimately kind of disappointed in how this one played out. Like, you got to hear some of the great music. Yes, we got to hear the songs that we came into this wanting to hear. But yet, only hearing 1.5 minutes maximum of each of them? Oh, man. I don't know about that one, fam. I do not know if that was ultimately worthwhile. I would much rather you scrap out a bunch of the joints that, you know, when Musiq Soulchild was damn near remixing his music on the fly, start Xing out some of them joints that, you know, that's not the way the song is supposed to sound. X that out so that we can get to the full songs of tracks that I want. Or bringing out Lucky Day, who is an amazing singer, but he pretty much remixed one of the best songs that Musiq Soulchild had, decided to use that. Like, no, just do the full song. All My Life I've Been Poe, you got the feature there, cool. You kinda can't cut that one out. But in hindsight, seeing how off they were with that, I would have preferred that to go ahead and get cut. I don't know about y'all. Jack Thriller having his own moments of coming to the stage and they stopping everything so that they can have him have his moment in the sun so that he can be like the battle guy in between. Could have cut all of that out when you realize that time is getting too close because we late. That could have been cut out. The keyboardist solo where he's Musiq Soulchild is doing warm-ups to a degree, that could have got cut out too. So that we can hear the full So Beautiful falsetto. You feel me? I'm willing to sacrifice the keyboardist duet, I guess this is what that was, so that we can have So Beautiful in full. I'm willing to sacrifice Musiq Soulchild's two-step anthem as an attempt to come at Anthony Hamilton for doing his whack dancing. I'm willing to sacrifice all of that. I'm even willing to sacrifice the American Gangster song, which is one of my favorite joints. Super underrated. I'm willing to sacrifice all of that so that I can get, what was it? The Answer Is Yes. So I can get a full Answer Is Yes. I'm willing to sacrifice a lot of the show that they did, even though I think this could have been if they were on time, if everything was working the way it should have worked, or they had enough time to go. And that's what I hate about these venues. Bro, it's not like you got anything to do tomorrow. It's not like it's Saturday. It's not like it's Sunday. It's Tuesday. Why are you rushing these people out so that you can maximize the most money? If it's Tuesday, you should just let these people go. Let them go to 2 a.m. if need be. Just pay a little extra for the employees that's there in the venue. That's all you need to do. Tell them look, and it shouldn't even be all that much. But at the end of the day, if it's on Tuesday, be happy somebody's in your venue. Tuesday, the pandemic is all but over, but at least it's starting to feel like the pandemic is all but over. It's not over yet, but people are getting out there. A lot more venues and stuff like this is getting packed. You saw how many people was in the Super Bowl and all of that stuff, man. We're seeing all of this happen, but the fact that the pandemic was not that long ago, for you to just not want your venue to keep popping on a Tuesday. I know it's LA. I know everything is popping in LA. Every day something is popping in LA, but not on this caliber. You feel me? Not when you got 2 R&B artists who packed the house competing against each other. You can't put a timeline to this. This could have been great. Yes, people should have been on time, but 2, the venue needs to go ahead and let this rock for the culture. Y'all can come to some kind of understanding. But for the culture, there's no way these great songs should have been getting cut. And that ultimately frustrates me. That's ultimately super disappointing. And the sad thing is that's the entertainment business, man. I would like to say after this being done like this, that lessons will be learned and the next ones won't be late and people will actually be about it and everything will move on fast. But no, man. Take it from me, an individual who's been helping put on parties, the party scene here in Charlotte for a very long time. being on time is not a thing. That's something that people hope and try to strive to get to. Things that people want to have happen. But the reality of it is, it never happens. Like, me and my homie, we've been doing shows and stuff, and we be more on time than most. Now, me personally, and I ain't trying to like big up myself to another level, but I'm always on time. In fact, I'm always over. Because that's what I try to bring to the table. I try to help people out. I try to make things. If I tell you I'm gonna be there at a certain time, I'm gonna be there at the certain damn time. But I'm even made late because my homie, who's the DJ, he be late. Not all the time, but he be late. We be cutting it close because he waits till the last minute to do a lot of things. But there's a lot of things that we need to do, and it has to come to the last minute because if you want to put on the show that you want to do on the highest level, in a lot of cases, you're gonna have to be like, especially when you work in jobs and stuff like that, man, you gotta do it in the time that you have available to you. So, in a lot of cases, the time he has available to him is like the hours leading up to the performances and the shows and stuff like that. And these things go a little bit over. By the time we get there, like, we're gonna have to set up this sound first so that we can get the music jumping, and then the rest of it from the TV monitors that we line up to make it into one big TV so that people can see what's going on, to bringing in the features, to having having like band members and stuff show up, setting up drums and things like that, setting up sound for outside and inside, and dealing with all of the getting the front door set up to charge people at the door. Like, all this stuff takes time, dude. So I'm not gonna tell you that they're ever going to get better and that things are ever going to work on time, because entertainment doesn't work on time, and it sucks. It sucks because it ruins potentially amazing events like this one in general. Like, this Anthony Hamilton Musiq Soulchild Verzuz had every sign that it was going to be a classic, dude. And would it shock you if it was LA traffic that made it so that it was late? It wouldn't shock me, because I've been to LA. And I know how it gets down out there, dude. What highway is it? Is the 101 or something like that? Oh, I've been stuck in that. Well, I thought Atlanta traffic was bad. But it would not shock me. Like, did you see the images of after the Super Bowl? How bad the traffic was? They said the city lit up after LA won the Super Bowl, and it lit up with nothing but traffic up and down. It would not shock me if that was the reason why all of this started late. And because of this, we missed out on what we got shortchanged. We didn't miss out. We got shortchanged on what could have been potentially one of the better ones. Top 5, maybe a top 5 Verzuz battle here. But nah. Given how Musiq Soulchild got tired with the voice, how he was off a bunch, how he came into this, I don't think it could have made, even with all the features and everything, I don't know if it would have, probably top 7, top 5, top 7. At its best, top 5, top 7. But since it got rushed, you gotta push it down. You feel me? You gotta push this one back. But ultimately, I did enjoy myself. Me and my ex-girl, we was watching it together. We enjoyed ourselves. This was fun. I would like to see more. Again, but the direction in which the Verzuz are going now, like they're gonna have a highlight versus battle next week with Tracy McGrady. Like, oh, hey, I'm a fan of sports now, and Tracy McGrady got some shit. Like, oh, Tracy McGrady, 30 seconds for all you fans of basketball out there. You know what I'm talking about. I think that could be entertaining to a degree, but that's not going to be what this was. They're trying to do something new, something different, because maybe it seems they're beginning to run out of artists. I don't think, there's a lot of artists out there still, I think, but the top flight ones that you know is going to tear the house down and all that stuff, they might be beginning to, it may be beginning to like dry up a little bit, given that a lot of these people who are still out there, like say Jay-Z, potentially Jay-Z, Nas, Jay-Z is too scared to do something. Like a lot of these people, like they want to be a rival to somebody, and the rival don't consider them as rivals, and then they have a rival to somebody who don't consider them as rivals. So ultimately, none of these people are actually doing anything. Like why Puff Daddy or Diddy or whatever he goes by now, Sean Combs, won't battle JD is beyond me. JD might eat his ass up, but yet Puff only wants to battle Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre ain't gonna battle no Diddy because Dr. Dre is like, man, I'm Dr. Dre. Especially seeing as though like the audio wasn't perfect. Like there was a moment where Dr. Dre was going to go into a versus battle, but he saw that the audio was janky, and he's too much of a perfectionist to get involved in anything like that, as we seen from the halftime party where his halftime show was perfect. I'm actually surprised that he pulled it off. But Dr. Dre doesn't want to battle Diddy. I forget who Dr. Dre wants to go against, but I'm not even sure if he even announced who he would consider to be a rival, but I'm not 100% sure that it would ever be Diddy. You feel me? It's like, whenever I play Street Fighter, I always want to fight against somebody that's in the Diamond or the Super Diamond or the Warlords. But at the moment, like I made it back to Diamond for those of you who follow me in that aspect. But in the exact moment that I'm at, I should only be happy to be fighting Diamonds and fighting individuals that's in the Ultra Platinums. Like I know where my level is at, and I need to begin to dominate this level instead of wanting to go above and beyond to compete against somebody who feels as though they're better, or actually is better, that have better hits than me. And that's something that a lot of these individuals need to begin to come to an understanding before they begin making demands on who they're going to versus battle. But at the end of the day, I mean, there's no shame in just like people saying that this should be a good versus battle and you go in and just demolish them. Take it from Jadakiss. Oh yeah. Jadakiss and the Lox knew that they were going to wash Dipset going into it. They like, yo, what are we talking about? This ain't even close. Why do y'all even want us to compete against these guys? And because of that, they made one of the most memorable events there ever was in a versus battle. That's the direction that you need to be taking it, Puff. But in the grand scheme of Anthony Hamilton Musiq Soulchild and how this one played out, they were far more equals than you would consider coming. Like, I considered Musiq Soulchild to be the more dominant musician coming into it, but I've never been to a Musiq Soulchild performance. If I've ever been to a Musiq Soulchild performance, then I would have readily recognized, oh, Anthony Hamilton got this. Because I have seen some Anthony Hamilton shit now. Anthony Hamilton is not a dancer, clearly, but he can put forth pretty solid performances as we've seen today. Musiq Soulchild, not necessarily. Excuse me. But overall, super fun. I hope everybody who's watching the playbacks, everybody who's out here watching, I hope you got a chance to watch this. Some people don't realize that you can watch these things not on IG or the Triller app or wherever it is they trying to go now, because they tried to charge with the Verzuz TV app or something for this go round, but yet they came out like, nah man, we're not going, like, because people were so upset about it. And like, at the end of the day, if you're getting good things, you should want to pay for it. But yet these people on social media and things, man, people be pretending to be broke. They may just be broke, but people always want something for free. But I'm like, man, if you guys need money based on viewership, if you need pay-per-view, you're gonna have to bite the bullet, man. Like, cause you already established that you guys have a quality product. You guys have already established that you have something that people really want to see. It doesn't have to be free. But since you did already establish that these things are going to be free, especially during the height of the pandemic and all of that stuff, man, then it makes sense that you go ahead and turn that into more of a profit. Like, hey man, Facebook makes more money than anybody out there right now, and the service is for free. You can do the same thing for Verzuz. You just gotta understand though, like, if anybody gives you anything for free, understand that you are indeed the product that they're selling. You understand? That's what Facebook does. You sign up for free, but everything that you click, everything that you post, everything that you're seeing, that's all data that people can pay for in order to sell you things. That's why whenever you're on Facebook, you always see a bunch of your preferences of things that you like that you didn't even tell it. Whenever you're on IG, same thing. Whenever you're on all of these places, because they're all but somewhat owned by the same people, they run the same algorithms. Whatever you are interested in, whatever you are searching on Google, all of this stuff, they will find a way to sell you something that you've been searching for. So that is an actual model that should be used in entertainment a lot more. That can help out the entertainment industry, especially when you're seeing things like Verzuz battles given away for free. You don't ever want to give away a good show, a good performance, or anything like that for free. Like, you're paying for Anthony Hamilton and Musiq Soulchild. You're paying for these people. But there are ways, and if you as individuals do not want to be used, you don't want to be the ones who are being sold, then you should want to pay for these kinds of things. But since you don't want to pay for anything, then you become the product. And you cannot complain when individuals like Verzuz, individuals from Facebook, individuals like Google, individuals like YouTube, when all of these people begin to just sell everything, there's no privacy at all, sell everything that you about to the highest bidder, you can't complain about it because you wanted something for free. You want entertainment for free, but nothing comes for free. But overall, definitely enjoyed this, man. A lot of things in here I would have changed, a lot of things that shortchanged us as viewers, as fans of these individuals and the music. A lot of things shortchanged us, which is very, very frustrating. But I ain't even mad at it though. However it goes down is how it goes down, and I think at the end of the day, it's still a positive experience. It's something positive that we can all talk about, something positive that we've all enjoyed together, that we can continue to build for all of the culture. I do appreciate Anthony Hamilton including hip hop a lot. And Musiq Soulchild did some rapping and stuff too. They didn't have to do that, but that's all a good look. Rap is hip hop, you know. R&B, hip hop, we one and one, man. We here together. Wish there would be less hating in between us, but I enjoy the talented artists that go and do all of this together. Put on good shows like this that could have been amazing, but good nonetheless. Definitely enjoyed this. So I appreciate everybody up in here, all the playbacks, man. Y'all go ahead, hit a like, subscribe if you're new here, man. I try to do a new video whenever something new pops up, whether it's a new video for a new artist songs. Usually the most videos that I do is reviews. I be like the first people to review music on Friday, New Music Fridays. But I'm also gonna be doing more shorts. I'm gonna try to get like these songs and things as they come out even faster, because I'm getting better at all of this. But I appreciate everybody tuning in, man. I will catch you guys the next time. When would I be? I don't know. Friday at the latest. But you guys be easy. Hope y'all enjoyed y'all Valentine's Day. Hope y'all had y'all woman, had y'all man. Hope y'all did everything that y'all supposed to do. Peace.